Otoroidea, the next branch of seals, is composed of two different families, Otariidae and Odobenidae. Both of these lines distinguish themselves from members of Phocidia due to having forelimbs and hind limbs that are more upright and developed for walking on land. When walking, otoroids can rotate their hind limbs underneath their pelvic girdle to assist them in terrestrial movement. As a result of these differences in physiology, these pinnipeds spend much more time on land. Odobenidae appeared first in the fossil record. The earliest members of this family were actually tuskless, such as the early Miocene Proneotherium and the late Miocene Titanotaria. Walruses showcased a high level of diversity throughout their time in the Cenozoic, with groups such as Imagotarinae looking much more like seal lions with slightly longer canines like the Prototaria of Japan, and the fascinating Dusicnathinae, which contain walruses with two sets of upper and lower tusks, such as the late Miocene Gomphotaria. Modern walruses are different from seals and sea lions in that they generally prefer eating animals such as mollusks, employing a method of feeding involving taking in food through suction and breaking it down in their mouths. This isn't true for all fossil species though, as members of Imagotarinae maintained a diet similar to that of seals and sea lions, feeding on items such as fish instead. Also, just like seals, walruses are known to swim using their hind flippers. Although due to the nature of their hind flippers, they can also do this funny walk on land. Otariidae contains what are known as the eared seals. As the name suggests, these pinnipeds set themselves apart by their simplified dentition and the presence of externally visible ear flaps known as pinnae. They are unique among pinnipeds for using their front flippers for swimming. Despite the great variety of otarids found throughout the globe today, fossil evidence for these animals is relatively scarce. One of the first members of this family is the Miocene Eotaria. Two animals part of this group are fur seals and seal lions, and the major difference between the two are a thick layer of fur on the former. While fur seals definitely live up to the fur part of their name because of this, it should be noted that these animals are not true seals, which as we've discussed before are part of Phocidae. Despite this difference, the split between these two types of pinnipeds isn't as clear-cut as it may seem, as despite the fact that most fur seals fall under the genus Arctocephalus, the other genus Calorinus is more closely related to other species of seal lions. As a result, this split is much more based on morphology than actual taxonomy.